So that was me in a nutshell. No, wait. We've got about 5 minutes left. I would love to hear any questions from you. Yes?
So, right at the almost beginning, you talked about how you like mystery shop your agents and find out how much they're putting on top.
Yep.
If you find out that they're putting like a lot on top, and so you're thinking, okay, my act is clearly worth more than they're pricing it, would you up your price?
Good question. More what that says to me, I'm really comfortable with my pricing. I feel like I get paid well for what I do. So I think your pricing really comes down to you.
Okay.
However, there are agents who put up to 50% on top. What that does to me is it goes, wow, the expectation at the other end of what I'm worth when I get booked through this agent is a lot higher. So I need to be on my A game. That's what it says to me.
Yeah, so that's why you mystery shop.
No, I also just want to know if I ask an agent for a fire show, who they're selling. They're selling me? Are they selling the right pictures? Are they selling the right words? Does it sound like I would want to book me? All that kind of stuff. I just want to know how good they're working for me.
Okay.
Yes, Marky?
You mentioned talking to the lighting engineer.
Yeah.
And I realised I know nothing about that. How did you learn about revolving heads? Did you literally?
Little bit. It's a little bit about. I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
But there are some key things. There are park hands are fixed, and everything nowadays is pretty much everything is LED, so they're all multicolours. Moving heads are the ones that move around. Gobos are ones that have patterns in them, so they can shine a light that can be like lattice and turn at the same time, and it just creates more effects. So,
but what are you saying in terms of?
What am I saying? Okay, that's a good point. Okay, so what? A few things I point out. A few keywords is that lighting technicians work in scenes. So you'd set a scene, and that would be whatever lights you put into it, and that'd be like scene 1. And then when I throw the thing in the air, then cut to scene 2. And then you've programmed scene 2, whatever that is. Whatever it is. Lighting is a complete open book. Do you know what I mean? But you've got scenes, and then I know what my show needs, but you can talk about mood. Lighting guys can be kind of artistic as well, do you know what I mean? Like mood, where exactly you are on the stage, how much you need to be seen, how much of this you do or don't want. So here's my quick rundown for a Flame on Fire show. At the very minimum, we want a cool wash from one side and a warm wash from the other. So what that means is the stage is covered in light, and it's red, oranges, warm colours from one side, blues, purples from the other side. What I really like is that kind of you get that kind of lovely cross, one colour, that thing. If you get a bit from behind, you can get lots of top lighting on your body and around your hair and stuff like that. What we don't want is the area a couple of meters of us super lit with white light or any kind of light, because you'll see a ton of smoke coming up in the air. So we try and keep the lighting away from there. We don't mind a bit of strobage on certain acts, like stuff in our face, but what's better for us is when it goes out into the audience, because that's free production. The audience is like, oh, it's rock and roll, oh my god, the lights are so cool. So that's the kind of thing. So minimum, that and that. If that was all we had, that's fine. If they've got the headspace to go like, okay, cool, our show is 4 different routines. The flavour for this one is this. The flavour for this one is this, this, and this. Then I would sit there and program each scene and let them understand when the changes are. I would try and do this before we tech, because it will take them 10, 15 minutes to kind of get it all in if they know what they're doing. Really, you'll get a feel for your lighting tech guy, how capable he is. I would then do the tech, and then I would come back to him and run notes with him. So that's what I was doing. Yes, and then yes, and then yes.
Don't know how much you'll be in terms of this, don't know how much aerial you do, but is it expected that aerialists would bring themselves?
No. Not in a high-end corporate event. There should be a rigger there. Yep.
When you first started out, how did you deal with weather? So, for example, if you're doing a fire show outdoors and the weather is saying you can't do it because of the weather, how do you deal with that in terms of contact or doing the event?
In the contract, it says in our contract, if we've sent our contract, So that's a bit of a, I'll get to you in a sec, that's a bit of a weird one for agents because they usually contract you. It's in our tech sheet that if the weather, it's health and safety. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's unsafe, it's just unsafe. The line that we personally draw is if the audience doesn't really want to watch and stay, then why are we doing a show?
Do you provide an alternative, or is it?
We try our best to. We pretty much all of our, we happen to be a team of multi-skilled artists, so we've usually got some crystals with us. Maybe we bring some pixel poi just in case. That if most high-end corporates indoors, so you don't really have an issue with it. If it is outdoors, then we troubleshoot that as it comes. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Bit more detail. How would we do
you
that?
didn't have pixel option, the LED option.
Then you need to be really clear in your tech sheet that if the weather makes your act not possible to perform, then under health and safety grounds you wouldn't perform it, and that's the risk that the client would need to take booking you. If you can offer an alternative on the day, if it can be later, if it can be a different thing, always try and offer an alternative if you can. But there might be a point where you just have to go, no. Yo.
It's really quick one, just
Yeah.
about turning up to gigs and like attire.
Mm-hmm.
You're a high-end corporate and say a black tie event kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you mentioned having like your logo on things.
Mhm.
Would that sort of take away the need to fit in? If you're in black with a t-shirt with your logo on, you're not going to fit into a black tie event. You're going to stand out. You put an effort on top of your. Okay.
Sure. Or I'd bring like arrival and tech clothes, and then I'd have live event clothes. So I would have like maybe, to put on a shirt and a jacket is not a big deal, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not always expected that you would, if you know that you're going to be crossing the floor, bring goods. If you don't know, probably bring it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there another question over here?
It's more a costume and fitting, basically your ability to move and be flexible with your movement.
Yeah.
And being smart and to the theme. So in terms of like shoes and stuff, trainers can be like on smart. It depends on the theme.
Okay, are you talking about the difference between what you turn up in and what you tech and perform in?
Performance mostly, yeah.
Yeah. So your costume is not what you wear through the door.
I know.
Yeah.
I kind of had a half question.
That's cool. I think there is a ready exception to be made for if you're an athlete or an athletic act and you turn up in smart looking, clean, tidy activewear, that's kind of okay because you're kind of expected to tech in that. But I do see a lot of dance style acts turning up in like street gear, and they're coming through like a 5-star hotel and they look wrong. But there's nothing, but I mean they stand out. They don't look wrong, they just stand out. So I think it's if you're taking like I'm setting high standards here. Let's be honest, like I'm setting super high standards, but they're things to aspire to. Look clean and presentable, that's good. If you can rock up, go on.
I'm more talking about on stage, and it's kind of like a basic thing I can ask anyone generally how they
So it's a
adapt their costume
costuming question.
to look smart, but also not get in the way of your ability to perform.
That's it really. Make a costume that makes you look smart and isn't too hard to perform in. Yeah, it's cool. It's
I'll think
cool.
of the question now.
Susie.
With the promo materials then, so you said to send like references, do you send things like that in a separate like PDF?
It's all one Word document because I want them to be able to rip the words off it. So I send it. I mean, you can rip the words off a PDF as well, but that document is your act copy, your performed act. Quotes include, companies include.
So all in one.
One document, because their web designer is going to go, wicked, great, cut, paste, reformat, but, whew, I can go have a cigarette now. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they can put the pictures in, and that's what I mean there. I think I'm probably coming right up to time now, yeah? Okay, cool.
Probably got time for one more.
Okay to perform like high-end corporate.
Ooh, that is a great question. That is a banging question. Dance slippers. Dance slippers. The question was, is it ever okay to perform barefoot at a corporate event? The answer is yes, of course, if that's what your act needs, that's what your act needs. But what is not hot is dirty feet. So that's it, really. Wear dance slips. I know, yeah, there's plenty of aerial acts that go on, and they just go bloop, bloop. That's fine, it's fine. Yep. I'm going to go here, and then I reckon we're done.
As an agent, what would your most preferable situation be to be contacted by a performer for the first time?
Haha, good question. The way I built my company was on personal touch. I got on the phone. People are not using the phone enough nowadays, and everything goes through text and email and impersonal stuff. There is so much more information you can get out of having a chat with somebody on the phone. However, you got to time that right. So here's my sequence of events for contacting an agent for the first time. Research the agent, find out the gap in there, find out why you are the perfect filler for the gap that they didn't know that they had in their books. Yeah. Research the acts around you. Why are you unique to the acts that they already have? I write myself a script, which is also an email. Talk.
Close to your elevator pitch.
Nearly. Pick up the phone, introduce yourself, introduce why you're calling, ask for the most appropriate person to speak to, which will invariably be anybody who picks up the phone. Ask them if they have enough time for a quick 5-minute chat. That's important, right? Because if they're stressed, they're just going to get you off the phone. If you've set and established, like, hey man, you got time? Yeah, cool, tell me about it. I then read what I've written in a very personable kind of way. I smile over the phone. I actually smile when I talk. Because it comes out in your voice. Do you know what I mean? You sound more excited. If you're really stressed, it's also going to come out in your voice and you're going to be harder and clipped. I then send them a follow-up email, which is pretty much the script that I've just written with links in it to my promo material. And this was back in the day when I was mailing stuff out. So I had to go to the post office, mail it out, send it off. I would then call them. So I had like 5 agents a day that I was contacting new, and then I had the 5 agents from last week. I would work through from least important to get my warm-up going, and then hit the big ones when you feel like you've had 2 or 3 under your belt and you're going. You've got your chat on, everything's rocking. That's when you do your important ones. And then after that, I phoned the 5 people who I emailed last week. Did you get it? Did you have a look at it? And if they haven't, this is the thing with email. You send something out. Did you get my promo that I sent last week? I don't know if they read it. I mean, yeah, you can get email reader things, but that doesn't mean anything. If they are on the phone to you, you have their undivided attention. And that is a great place to be. So that is how I would get on the books. I also used to, when I was building things up, I'd be walking down the street, I'm like, I've got 10 minutes to kill. I'm going to get on the phone. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's Dave here from Flame Oz. Yeah, there's no reason for me to call. I just wanted to make sure you hadn't forgotten about me. Oh, really? You've had one just come in right now? Let me check my availability. 9 times out of 10. You get on the phone, they're like, oh, it's so funny you called. Got an event that just came in. I think that is my time, so thank you very much.